Alrighty, guys. Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful evening here. We are doing something we have not done in a while. We're doing a little bit of coverage tonight on a little bit of severe weather. We do still have a slight risk today that we are dealing with. Tornadoes, damaging winds, hail, still a concern that we do need to look out there for. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well. It's obviously good to have you guys back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about today's risk here before we, or here in a moment, before we really start diving into the coverage here. But we have JH7 today. We have Abby, we have Starshine, we have Ponderosa, Lisa. Let's see here. We have Christy. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Hello, Ponderosa. Good evening to you as well, Lisa. Good to have you here. Super excited, but why is it at 90 degrees? I just came from Washington State at 65. We have been dealing with a big heat wave lately. Essentially, we have this big dome of high pressure that's been kind of over the east here, keeping things a little bit warm overall. Now, we actually did a lot of that, a lot of an update here, I should say, in the last stream yesterday. We were talking a little bit about it. It looks like that the heat's going to continue on for just a little bit longer, unfortunately. So, yeah, it kind of looks like towards the beginning of next month is when we could start to have maybe a little bit of a break regarding the heat wave, but it still unfortunately is carrying on here. So, we got a handful of warnings right now. So here's our table. You guys can see. So all these guys, all these ones here in the yellow, these are each a severe thunderstorm warning. You can see we have some across Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas, Montana, Texas, Maryland, Tennessee, Pennsylvania. So that's currently where the severe thunderstorm warnings are. They're kind of really scattered all over the place here. But the main threat for tonight is actually up here across portions of like Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. The watches are still in effect here, but they actually are about to expire relatively soon. But I did want to be here for a little bit tonight with you guys to kind of, go over everything, kind of talk about what is essentially going on here. But yeah, no, for tonight we do have ourselves actually two areas of slight risk concern. Let's go ahead and actually turn on the city names here. Let's go ahead and turn on those so we can actually see what we're looking at here. So they actually did add a level 2 severe weather threat here, all the way from northern Georgia, cutting into the Carolinas here, through Virginia, out there towards Maryland and Pennsylvania. They actually did have, they do have a severe thunderstorm watch up here by like the DC area overall. This is actually where I grew up. We're actually having some storms out here. But yeah, so we do have a little bit of severe weather going on out here as well. If you see us briefly going over here, then that is why. Let's see here. Christy says a tornado in Largo, Florida. Looks like there was more clouds funneling into the. Was there a tornado in Largo? I have not heard of that. When was this? Somebody sent to me about 20 minutes ago. Interesting. Well, there's no warnings in place for these areas here. Let's go and bring up Largo real quickly. Largo, Florida. I'm assuming you did say Florida, right? Yeah, so let's take a look at Largo. Okay, so we do have a storm out here. Let's hop to velocity real quickly. Let's go ahead and play this in motion. I mean, velocity-wise, there's really not much to be shown here. Let's try a correlation coefficient scan. Let's see if there's anything on here. Look for debris tracker. Yeah. At least radar-wise, I'm not seeing anything that's leading me to believe that there is a tornado out by Largo. I'm not denying it, but, I just haven't seen any warnings and I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't see it personally. Wasn't that a day or two ago? Oh, it was yesterday. Okay. Okay, for a second, I thought you were mentioning it was today. I'm like, what? Anyways, folks, but yeah, so getting into everything here, we still do have a bit of a risk up here by Iowa. You can see we do have a pretty long line of storms that is working its way through. Currently going through, like, the Cedar Rapids area here. So we'll definitely keep an eye out there for it. Like I said, it is kind of on the edge of the right-hand side of this watch here. So I believe that the main threat is relatively over. But I wanted to be here because, today's threat in general is still not over with, and I wanted to be here for a little bit of the night coverage here like I typically tend to do. So we're just going to be live for a little bit here, do a bit of a overview of everything like we have been, and just wanting to keep you guys obviously weather aware and prepared. Let's see here. So yeah, it was yesterday. Okay, well that kind of sums it up why I didn't see it. So actually, guys, we have a new area of possible development here in the Gulf, as you guys can see down in the southern Gulf. Actually, we just got a new disturbance here. Oh, did they upgrade it? Looks like they did. I think it was a 1010. Now it's a 1020. Nice. So let's see here. So this is from the Hurricane Center. Area of shower and thunderstorm. I can't even English tonight. My bad. An area of shower and thunderstorms currently over northwestern Caribbean Sea and adjacent to areas expected to move west-northwest into the Bay of Campeche. I think that's how you say that. Saturday night. Low pressure area could form after that time if the system remains over water. So it looks like it's kind of hugging the coast here. But yeah, over the next 7 days here, we are seeing throughout the next 7 days, we are seeing a 20% chance overall probability of tropical development here throughout the next week or so. Now, throughout the next 48 hours, we do have a 10% chance here of development. So probability isn't super, super high right now. But it is another area to watch. Now, speaking of, we actually do have upgrades on the disturbance that we're watching here in the eastern Pacific. We were actually talking about this a little bit yesterday. We are now at a 90% chance overall formation probability in the next 7 days here. 48-hour, your 2-day outlook here is a medium 50% chance. So it's getting close. It is. Let's take a peek at the satellite here. Kind of see that there is just a big blob of convection and storm activity going on there. So that's the system. Now, the models, I haven't really looked at them since yesterday. I kind of wanted to do that with you guys here. So let's take a moment to hop on over here to the models. The time, y'all, is in the top left if you guys want to follow along here. So this is the latest GFS here. It actually looks like GFS has gotten a little bit more aggressive, as you can kind of see here. Showing the system really starting to strengthen right around the 30th from what it looks like here. So this is still, quite a few days out. You can see it just kind of remains a broad low for several days here overall. But yeah, according to GFS here, we could get down in the tropical storm status. I mean, even pressure, according to this run here, goes to the 980s. But, of course, this is one model. This is one run as well, so we need to take it lightly. Let's look at Euro, though. It's obviously really good to compare. So Euro, I mean, kind of agrees quite a bit. Although the thing about the Euro is it's a little bit later development-wise as opposed to the GFS. This model here, the Euro, kind of shows basically we are seeing kind of a later development here. But still, according to this model here, we could get down into the tropical storm status here. So we'll definitely need to look out there for that. Let's see here. Heard thunder the other day. It made a vibration noise. Vibration thunder. I mean, well, thunder is consistent of shock waves, which is due to the plasma breaking the sound barrier, cutting through the air at a very fast rate, which basically rips apart the air, essentially. And it does create shock waves, which can sound different. It also, thunder can sound different, if you're in rain or if you're not in rain. That's something I've noticed, is because the sound waves can reflect off of these precipitation particles, or these raindrops here, that can kind of dampen the noise, make them sound a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, there can be some echoing. I don't know what it was completely about, but yeah, no, thunder can sound different in different environments and different kind of occasions per se. Let's see here. There was a funnel cloud tonight. I got you. Where was that at, Christy? Was that in Florida? Let's see. What's up, Scottish? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Good to have you here. What's up, Mark? Good to have you here as well. So let's go ahead and hop our way over here back to the current view of things. So like we mentioned, y'all, if you're just tuning in, we do have a little bit of severe weather going on. Actually, we have a warning north of Chicago here for penny-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gust possibilities here. So that has about 33 minutes. So just a main concern for some gusty winds and whatnot. Like I mentioned, y'all, we do need to watch out by like the DC area too. Actually, east of Baltimore, we do have a little bit of storm activity popping off here. Looks like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail as well. So let's go over the outlook here. So we did look at the general outlook. So we do have the 2 slight risk here. They did add a level 2 threat here today. Once again, from northern Georgia, cutting through the western Carolinas into Virginia, into Maryland and Pennsylvania. Tornado-wise, thankfully, we do not have a risk for tornadoes today out by the mid-Atlantic, which is good. This is going to be more of a concern here for like damaging winds with that, that 15% risk out there, and that 5% hail threat a little further south of that watch there overall. But yeah, tornado-wise, though, we do have that concern, though, like we mentioned. And a lot of the reason that we are live currently is because of this threat here up across areas like southeastern Minnesota, like northeastern, Iowa, as well as like a lot of central and southern Wisconsin here. We do have a 5% risk out there, for tornadic activity here. Now, when looking at the radar, you can see over across Wisconsin right now, across that 5% region here, we do have, quite a few storms that are popping off right now. Currently, none are severe, but like I mentioned, these can pop off pretty quickly. I don't believe the threat is fully over as of right now. This watch we have is actually about to expire here, this tornado watch that we do have, but we'll still need to, keep a little bit of a lookout here for at least another couple more hours or whatnot. I do plan on being live here for a little bit tonight to just kind of help you guys, kind of show you all what's really going on here across the country and just keep you guys up to date. Hopping over to Montana, actually, it looks like we do have quite a few cells kind of popping off out here. Y'all see that? Up there on the eastern side, both the northeastern and the southeastern side of Montana, we have a little bit of activity popping off here. The one for the southeastern side of Montana, we have about quarter-size hail, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on that warning there. We have another one up here by Culbertson, in Bainville, up here in northeastern Montana, which this one has quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here as well. And then to the north, we have another one from Medicine Lake and Freud, I think it is, also for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter hail. So a little bit of activity out there as well. Up here by the panhandle of Texas, some pretty high velocities on that one. But we do have another warning here, or another set of warnings for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail overall. So, just a little bit of activity out and about in some of these regions here. Looks like Raleigh. Oh, look at that storm. So out by Raleigh, North Carolina, you can actually, wow, look at that boundary. I believe that's an outflow boundary there from these storms previously. Wow, look at that, man. That is actually incredible. I've always loved outflow boundaries. They're so cool, especially to see on radar and stuff. It's like it's really neat. But yeah, no, out by Raleigh, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here for like some of the regions, including Raleigh, like Mooresville, Holly Springs, for 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail. It seems like that's what a lot of them are at right now. A lot of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we have here is mostly between 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny hail. As of now, I don't see anything above that threshold, so kind of marginalized storms as of right now. But we'll have to still keep a close eye out there for a little bit. But yeah, the storm right now is over Apex, North Carolina here. We played this in motion. You can kind of see that this is just slightly west of Raleigh here. To be honest, the storm here is probably going to eventually die out. Reason being is because, first of all, we had that outflow boundary. Here, let's go ahead and draw this. That outflow boundary that kind of rolled through here, and now we have a new outflow boundary developing from the downdraft of this storm here, which this is probably going to cut off any inflow that gets caught up into the storm. Basically what it's going to do is it's basically going to choke itself out. So I don't expect this in particular storm to last too long because of that. But remember, like I mentioned, the good news is that these storms here, the ones up by like the Mid-Atlantic region, are not expected to be tornadic, because kinematics are really not supportive for that here. I do want to bring up our meso analysis real quickly so we can take a peek at that, kind of see what we're looking at here. So let's change our sector to the Mid-Atlantic here. So let's go ahead and do that now. And see the storm out there by Raleigh. If we take a look at our SKU-TO, I have dark mode on, so it's a little hard to see. Here, let me do this instead. We'll pull up the 850 millibar winds here. But yeah, I mean, we have nothing stronger than 5 to 10 knots of a lower level jet, so really not going to do anything, tornadic wise, which certainly is good. However, like we mentioned, though, once we get up more towards the the Midwest, trying to find the perfect view. There we go. But yeah, once we get up towards like the Midwest here, towards Iowa, like Wisconsin, Missouri, where we do have those active storms here, you can see that the lower level winds are a little bit stronger, anywhere from like 25 to 30 knots or so. Which isn't anything excessive, and therefore I don't expect we're going to see anything violent tonight. But we can definitely not rule out the potential for a couple of tornadoes and whatnot here. Mid-level winds here are really not much different here. Mid-level winds are not really super strong here. So, but we do have a lot of instability though. There's a lot of fuel for these storms overall, which it does look pretty good here. So all aside the wind shear, I mean, things look pretty decent as of right now. Let's see here. Mark says Oak Hill, West Virginia, hot, got missed by thunderstorms. Yeah. It's been hot across a lot of the country here, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll have that come to an end here. Here, let me actually bring you guys. I'm gonna show you all something. Let's bring you guys back over to the models here. So, like we mentioned in yesterday's stream, unfortunately, it kind of looks like that the hot air is still going to remain for a little bit here. You can see there in the red, this is indicating above average temperatures, the higher anomalies. Which, by the way, this is in Celsius, so this is a lot warmer than it would be in Fahrenheit. So don't ignore this for Fahrenheit because it's actually a little bit higher than that. But yeah, I mean, if you look over here for tomorrow afternoon, the day after tomorrow's afternoon here, according to GFS, we could be well between 4 to 6 degrees Celsius above normal across a lot of the Mid-Atlantic. So, this kind of looks like it's going to be the new way of things for at least the end of, or for the rest of this month for what it looks like. But it does look like we could be coming into some relief, though, kind of once we approach our way here for the early part of July, which you can see the GFS here. I mean, this is in reasonable time frame, giving its 400, or sorry, not that far. That would not be reliable. 144 hours out here from GFS here. So this is for the afternoon of the 2nd. So this could actually set up for possibly a pretty nice 4th of July. I mean, you can see that, maybe the plains and the Midwest could be a little bit warmer, but I really don't like to look too far out there. But bottom line is it does kind of look like it's going to continue to be relatively hot for, the next several days. And, early next month is probably when we're going to start to feel some of that, some of those calmer conditions, kind of come through. Not nearly as aggressive in terms of the temps because, yeah, it's been miserable. Let's see here. Christy says, I sent you some videos and photos that were sent to me in your group on Facebook. Sounds good, Christy. Yeah, I'll have to look at that later. I don't have the Facebook up on my computer here. So, but yeah, I'll look into that later on. Scottish says, finally some relief from me burning up. Yeah, that's good, man. It's been really hot here. But yeah, hopefully that will come to a close soon because I'm tired of it as much as you guys probably are as well. It's been pretty brutal, across a lot of the country, not just a specific region, but it's been like hot across a lot of the central and eastern U.S. But, what's actually kind of interesting here is that the West has actually been cooler than usual for the most part out there. And it kind of looks like that those conditions might actually swap here soon for, like I said, early July, as it kind of looks like the west might start to heat up, and the central eastern country might cool down a little bit more than it is now. But that'll certainly be nice. But with whatever happens, we'll be here to let you guys know what happens overall. Anyways, oh my gosh, Proxy coming in with a $50 super chat. It is good to see you, Prox. Saying hi, Andrew. Long time no see. Good to see you working hard and keeping us safe and informed. You rock. Hi, fam. Proxy, it is good to see you. Thank you, first of all, so much for that. You do not have to do that. That is really, really nice of you, my friend. Proxy, thank you, as always. It's greatly appreciated. It's good to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well. But seriously, Prox, you really didn't have to do that, my friend. Thank you so much. Y'all in chat, please, as always, if you could, give Proxy a big thank you in the chat. It would be greatly appreciated. But thank you, Prox. It's good to see you. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Okay? Thank you so much. All right, so we got a new warning, guys, here in eastern Iowa. This is up here by Asbury. This includes, let's see here, Sherrill, Balltown, Holy Cross. Let's see here. WQ? Is that how you say that? Can y'all help me on this? I don't know how you say that. WQ? Yeah. That. You guys can see it. That's my weakness, guys. I tell you what. I'm not good with name pronunciation. It is terrible. It is terrible. Anyways, this actually has a tornado possible tag on it. This includes 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Let's see. Is there any closer radar? I think the Davenport one is probably the closest one that we have here. But yeah, main concern right now is, really the only concern right now is damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour within the storm. There is a possibility for a tornado. It doesn't mean you need to seek shelter right now. By the way, it's Dubuque. Oh, jeez. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Scottish. Hey, man, I'm giving it my best shot. But yeah, so we'll definitely keep an eye out there for that one. So for the people joining right now, we have no tornado warnings as of right now, knock on wood. But we do have a total of 12 severe thunderstorm warnings here. So, but yeah, most of these guys as of right now are between like 60 to, within 60 mile an hour wind gust range, as well as hail between mostly penny to quarter size as of right now. Once again, Proxy, thank you so much. I agree. It's greatly appreciated, my friend. What's up, Sean? Hope you're doing good. Saying hi, Andrew. I live in Mount Airy, Maryland. Was curious if we are safe for the night. Good to have you here, my friend. So let me look real quickly. Here, let's go ahead and bring y'all over here real quickly. Okay, so we are outside of that watch. Now, there is going to be the possibility still for maybe a little bit of strong to potentially severe storms in the area. I do have good news for you, though. We are not expecting anything tornadic in this region here, like we were looking at a little bit ago. The winds, the wind shear is not supportive of it. So no tornadoes, which is, certainly good. But whenever it comes to it, we do have a little bit of a gusty wind threat still, that 5%, not even a hail threat, actually. You're just in for a little bit of gusty winds. But regarding the threat here, if you look at the radar, you can see that we do still have a bit of activity here to your west. I mean, not a whole lot. I wouldn't rule out the possibility here for maybe a little bit of some storm activity still to continue on for at least the next couple of hours here. What I can do for you, and what I will do for you, is let's hop over to the models real quickly, so we can kind of see what we have going on here. So you're kind of in this portion out there. So as we progress down in time here with the HRRR here, you can see that actually, yeah, according to the HRRR, we do actually grow some cellular development out there just before midnight, or right around midnight here. So that is something that I would look into. There could be some storms later on tonight. I don't think you're quite out of the water yet, but I would keep an eye out there for it. But like I mentioned, though, it wouldn't be anything tornadic. Wouldn't be anything. Oh, this is a severe thunderstorm warning where I grew up. That's interesting. It wouldn't be anything super crazy, but it would just be the potential of maybe a little bit of gusty winds on some of the worst storms here. This is the area where I grew up in, out by Manassas. This is literally where I used to live. We have a severe thunderstorm warning out there. This is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny hail, as a lot of the warnings are right now. See, Central Prince William County in Northern Virginia. Dude, I've been here so many times. Yeah, so the main concern is just like 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. So, like I mentioned beforehand, I don't know if you guys were here for that or not. I don't think I mentioned it in the stream, but we do have, whenever we do reach 0.75 inches in diameter, this is equivalent to penny-sized hail. This is, equivalent to relatively small-sized hail, which is not considered severe. So, to be classified as severe, we do have, have to have those winds here and 58 miles an hour or greater, or essentially hail pretty much, 1 inch in diameter and larger. Anything under that is not classified as severe. So this is just a concern for gusty winds out there. But we do have a couple of them popping off here. Let's see here. Proxy says, always proud to support the best weather forecasting channel on YouTube. Proxy, I don't know about that, but I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for that. It's much appreciated. Thank you. Let's see. Are you serious? No way, dude. Christy! Y'all... Give Christy a big thank you. There is no way. Christy just came in with a $50 Cash App donation, dude. What? There's no way, man. Thank you so much for that, Christy. That is really sweet of you. Dude, y'all are awesome. Please know you do not have to donate. It does help me out a ton. It does help keep us on our feet here, but y'all seriously don't have to. Just as long as you guys are being weather aware and staying up to date, that's all I care about. But seriously, thank you so much for that, though. That is really sweet of you, my friend. Y'all, please give him a big thank you in the chat. It'd be much appreciated. Let's see here. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. At least I didn't grow up with a bunch of tornadoes like I am here in Indiana. I've had a fair share of tornadic experience whenever I visited Kentucky. Back in the late 2000s. I was fairly young at the time, but it was, I've mentioned that before on my previous live streams, which I'm not going to get into now. But yeah, I have dealt with a fair amount of tornadic activity. Even one in Virginia where I used to live. There was one during the famous 2011 April outbreak, which tornado actually kind of went through my neck of the woods here up in Northern Virginia at the time. It was late. I was just going to bed, and apparently there was a tornado like a mile away from me that dropped down, and I didn't find out until like a while later until we found some damage on a road nearby, which is crazy. Anyways, kind of getting off topic here. But anyways, yeah, so I actually have some good news for y'all. They did cancel that tornado watch here. So while that's gone, I still want you guys to be weather aware out here. We still do have some, convection. We still have a little bit of activity popping off out here throughout Wisconsin. While the main bulk of the threat, I believe, is over tornadic-wise, I would still keep an eye out there for it because, we still could get, a couple isolated severe storms in which, cannot rule out tornadic activity. And believe it or not, the one warning that we do have here towards right here on the border between Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois, we do have the severe thunderstorm warning here in effect for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, penny hail, but also a tornado possible tag here. So tornado threat's not completely out of the woods yet, but, I do think the main of it is mostly over with for the most part. So we still do have this severe thunderstorm watch here for a lot of Iowa, a little bit of like northwestern Missouri that's still in effect here, so we'll need to look out there for that. Which, we've about an hour left on that one. The one out here by the Mid-Atlantic, we also have about an hour or so. So we'll probably be here until those expire for the most part. But tomorrow, I definitely do plan on doing coverage tomorrow, actually, because, tomorrow does appear to be a pretty decent day, severe weather-wise. You can see we do actually have a pretty good-sized slight risk here. We were actually doing a bit of a breakdown here in yesterday's live stream with this system here. It does look to be a concern here, severe weather-wise. So that is, something that we're definitely going to need to look out there for. As of now, it is a pretty small 2% chance for tornadoes. We'll keep an eye out there for that. We do have a wind threat, 15% risk here, and also a 15% hatch risk tomorrow for hail. So tomorrow is going to be a big day for hail from what it looks like here. Potentially 2 inches in diameter and greater overall. So we'll look into that. What's up, Scott? Welcome, welcome. Let's see here. See, I'm getting so many thunderstorms. Well, stay safe out there, my friend. Let's see, in my neck of the woods did I move? Where I used to live, I grew up here in Northern Virginia. That's where I was born and I was raised, and I lived there about 19 years or so. And then I moved to Kentucky for a couple of years. And then, of course, now I live in Florida for a couple of years. Let's see here. But yeah, Sean, be careful out there, my friend. And then, of course, we'll go and mention here. So day 3, actually, this would be here on Saturday. We have another risk up in the northern plains. So it kind of looks like the northern plains here are going to be a little bit active here over the next couple of days here. So we'll look into that here. I don't think we have anything on the extended range. Day 4, day 5. Yeah, day 6, day 7. Okay, yeah, there's nothing in the extended range, so it's still just basically the next 3 days where we got to look out there for a bit of severe weather concern. Then, of course, the tropics. Like I mentioned, we do have a low chance of tropical development here, a new disturbance that popped up in the southern Gulf here, which I don't. Let me pull up the models here again. We'll actually take a peek at that real quickly. Let's hop y'all over here real fast. Take a look at the GFS. Let's go ahead and line up the time. So time's in the top left if y'all want to follow along here. Actually, let's move this to. Is there a Gulf view? I wish there was. Maybe the Western Atlantic would be the best one to look at here. There we go. Okay, so obviously we have that one that we're tracking. That's that high risk overall of development here in the Eastern Pacific. This guy right here. This one has a 90% chance. We're likely going to see at least a depression out of this storm system here. Models, like we mentioned earlier, indicate now tropical storm potential seems quite possible. I wouldn't even rule out low-end hurricane, which we'll have to see. Still a little fuzzy on that right now, but we'll get to it. The more data that comes out and the closer we get to it, we'll talk more about it. But yeah, I mean, my eye's been kind of on this guy here. This is brand new development here from the Hurricane Center here with that 20% chance. While it is a fairly low threat, let's see the GFS here. So GFS does have. Hold on, I don't want to go too far here. To be honest, GFS, you're really not showing much here. Unless it's talking about this little guy, like right in here. Really is not showing much of anything. Could be a bit of rainfall. They did mention in the outlook here that it is going to be relatively close to, land here overall. What? Are you serious? Christy with another $50 on Cash App. What? Thank you, Christy. You don't have to do that, my friend. I love the note that Christy left me. Y'all ready for it? It says HALWONSJBKL. And then the one before said BCFBHDVLB. Thank you. I appreciate that, Christy. Never knew you had such a way with words, but seriously though, thank you so much. That's really, really sweet of you, my friend. Y'all, please give him a thank you. That's super sweet of you, Christy. Thank you. You really didn't have to do all that. Greatly appreciated. But yeah, the GFS really doesn't show much here. Let's look at Euro. Euro kind of doesn't show much either. I mean, we have a little bit of a low you can see out there, along the southern Gulf. But Yeah, I don't think this will be too much of anything. Definitely nothing, super concerning or whatnot. So, anyways, hopping back here. Let's see. We have a new warning here, y'all. Up here in northwestern Indiana. This is out there by Portage and Winfield area on the far northwestern side. This is for, what do you know it, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Yeah, it seems like the hail threat, for the most part, is fairly low today. So we're really not seeing too much going on there. Hail-wise, overall. Let's see, is Barry the next name? I believe something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Barry. Barry's the next name here. Y'all remember Beryl? Was it Beryl? That's the last year. That was a crazy storm. But yeah, this year's Barry. Then it goes Chantel, I think it is. Dexter, Aaron, Fernand. Gabrielli, I think that's how Gabrielli, Humberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen. Oh no, guys, this year we have a Hurricane Karen. Oh, dude. Oh, that's gonna be a bad one. I'm sorry. That one's not gonna be very, very good. Better than knowing it's snowing in Florida. I agree, Christy. I would literally shrivel up and die if that happened. That one snowstorm we had last January, I think it was, that snowed a lot in northern Florida. Yeah, that was crazy. Let's see here. Sean, be careful out there, okay? If there's any questions you might have, let me know, all right? But anyways. But yeah, so right now, just kind of a bunch of scattered severe storms going on here. Let's see here. So right now we have 12 severe thunderstorm warnings here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Yeah, it's kind of cut off here. But yeah, all of these warnings here have at least 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts on them. See, we also do have... yeah, most of these are just between penny and quarter-size hail, so relatively low-end warnings for a lot of these areas here, so nothing super crazy. See, that's okay. As long as you're indoors away from windows, these shouldn't be too much of a problem. But, yeah, it's once you start getting tornadoes and stuff, which I don't like. Looking at composite, you can just see that whole boundary there. The whole line of storms kind of popping off. But, yeah, a lot of the activity right now is up here by, like, the western Great Lakes region, upper Midwest, and the Mid-Atlantic here. Let's see. Hurricane Karen will ask for the manager. You know it. Okay, that's funny. That's actually really funny. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to tracking that one, guys. I ain't gonna lie. If we ever get to Hurricane Karen this year, help us now. Oh, jeez. Let's see here. Yeah, Christy, thank you once again. Seriously, that was way too generous of you. You certainly didn't have to do that. Same with Proxy too, y'all. Thank you guys. Big shout out tonight goes to Christy and Proxy. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody, seriously. And you guys don't have to donate or anything like that, but for the people who do, seriously, thank you. Y'all help keep us on our feet here. Ooh. We got a new warning up here in northeastern Kansas. This one's reporting actually observed winds of 60 miles an hour. Here, let's change it up a little bit here. So this actually did have history of hail, too, for southeast Nebraska here. The warning hasn't came through on this program yet, GR2. Here, let me... oh, yeah, look at that. We got some pretty strong velocities on there. I mean, radar, this is scanning about 5,000 feet up or so, which isn't super high. Yeah, radar range is about 55 miles out from the storm here. Looks like it's quite a rainmaker, too. Let's see here. Oh, there's the warning. There you go. let's see what they say here with this one. Apparently, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, radar indicated. Oh, here we go. Personal weather station near, what is that, Sabetha, measured a 55-mile-per-hour wind gust. So that's not quite, if we're being technical, that's not considered severe winds. That has to be 57, or 58 miles an hour or greater, sorry. 57, or, I almost did it again. 58-mile-an-hour winds or greater is what is classified as severe. Don't ask me why it's 58, because I don't know. I don't know why they didn't round it to like 60, whatever. But yeah, 58 miles an hour. They must have done some extensive testing on that at some point for it to be 58. So, no clue. We do have a couple warnings up in southwestern Wisconsin for Potosi, out there by Lancaster. Let's see here, Dickeyville, Hazel Green, B-Town. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Yeah, this is the one that actually does have a possible tornado tag on it too, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. I don't see anything super concerning, like tornadic-wise right now, so that's good. Leaving my client from work now. She's 104. Wow. Yeah, I see why, Christy. 104, man. That's wild. So we got some reports of damage all up in northeastern Illinois. See here, trees reported down here on Route 72 in Romke Road. Romke Road. Time estimated here. That's, see, large pole down at Teckler and Route 14. Several 3 to 4 inch tree limbs blown down. One 8-inch diameter tree uprooted. Interesting. I mean, that's not really that big of a tree. It's a good size. We got another warning up in northwestern Indiana, out by South Haven and Wheeler. So heads up to you guys out here. This one's for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts here and penny hail as well. Chris says, gotta go. Have a good night, everybody. Check out those videos when you get a chance. I will, Christy. Thank you once again for your support, for one. It's greatly appreciated. You have a wonderful night, Christy. Thank you so much for your support. And it was good to have you here. Hope to see you soon. Hopefully you're doing good. And we'll catch you in the next one. All right, let's take a minute to update Virginia real quickly. So, like I mentioned, I have this one warning out here. Ooh, this is pretty good in velocity. Look at that. Velocities are 1,000 foot up here from the KLWX radar here. This is roughly about 1,000 feet up and scanning about 35 to 40 knots. This warning here is for Manassas area, including Bristow. I could keep my eyes closed and know where this is at. This is literally where I was born. Manassas Park, yeah, Fairfax, Centerville, Brentsville, Bristow, just outside of Nokesville, Linton Hall. Dude, I've been to all these places. Yeah, but 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts here and penny hail. So, yeah, once again, penny hail, nothing too crazy. Just small hail possible. Let's see here. That's fair, Scottish. That is fair. I still don't really want to know what Hurricane Karen will do. I hope it remains a tropical storm. Let's see. Ooh, we got some reports. Multiple trees down in the area of North Clear Ridge Road in Dublin Township. This is in south central Pennsylvania here, including McConnellsburg, Valley High, Needmore, and just outside of Mercersburg. This one has, see, until 9:45. Penny hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's kind of what it's been, just penny-sized hail, just little stuff. Tomorrow, though, like I mentioned, tomorrow will be a little bit more of a concern hail-wise. Here, let's take a moment to show you all real quickly. Yeah, so with tomorrow's threat we have, guys, we do have that big slight risk up here in the northern plains, that big level 2. As of now, tornado threat does exist, but it is pretty low. just a little 2% risk out there by the Dakotas. A little bit of a tornadic concern tomorrow as of now. We do have a pretty decent sized wind threat between, gusts between 60, 70 miles an hour. Possible up there. 15% chance in the yellow, of course, 5% chance in the brown. But yeah, hail-wise tomorrow, we actually do have that hatch risk here, as you guys can see here. This is where we actually could see hail, 2 inches in diameter and larger here overall. Let's see here. Do they really mention? There's a lot of text here. Hopefully I can just scan through this real quickly and try to find if they say it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Here we go. Risk for severe wind or severe hail and wind. I don't see anywhere. It talks about the jet stream. That's about it. Yeah, we did a deep analysis on this yesterday during our update live stream here, and it didn't appear to have a super significant lower level jet or anything like that. Here, let's do that now. Actually, let's bring y'all over to models real quickly. So tomorrow's threat here. So we were talking about the mode and stuff. According to here, let's hop back to we'll go to 18 Zulu. Tomorrow's mode could be starting off semi-discrete. Somewhat discrete cell activity, but then it kind of develops into at least for North Dakota for this run of the HRRR, kind of turns into like almost a little MCS or whatnot, a big cluster of storms here, which could be some supercells in that. But let me look at the wrap. Oh, here, let's change back up here. But yeah, let's look at the wind shear here. So tomorrow, as you can see, we do have a little bit of a lower level jet here in place, and it does strengthen after midnight. Hopping back here to the timing of these storms, it looks like they're going to be popping off here pretty much kind of in the afternoon, evening-ish. Yeah, pretty much evening. And they should fade out around midnight or so, possibly. This is roughly. But looking at the wrap here and our lower level jet here. So so right around the time that the storm started to fade out here, that's whenever the jet stream starts to actually increase. But for the storms that do fire off, they'll be in a lower level jet of right around 20, 25 knots or so, which is not anything super significant per se. Not anything super crazy. This could support maybe some brief, relatively weak tornadoes. We do have an aggressive perpendicular change in wind shear between our lower and mid-atmosphere. So our middle levels are the winds are going from the west to the east here. And our lower level winds here going from the south to the north. So the veering is there. But yeah, kinematics, they're not really high. They don't seem to be anything violent or anything, super aggressive. I mean, yeah, you can see that we do have, pretty good veering on our lower altitudes here, between 0 to 3 kilometers. The winds start off going from the south to the north. As you go up in altitude here, the winds go from the west to the east here. Really good amounts of instability. A little bit of a cap here. Could be a little hard for storms to fire through. We'll have to see. Pretty nice little photograph there. Look at that big hook, that arch that we have here indicates some potential spin, maybe some activity tornadic wise. Effective inflow layer helicity 250, decent. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, I don't think we're gonna have anything specifically violent tomorrow or anything like super significant per se. But a couple of tornadoes, I would say, is a possibility, which would likely remain relatively weak and brief, given the fact that our lower-level kinematics aren't anything substantial. But yeah, we'll be here to cover that tomorrow as well here. So, anyways, look at that. They actually updated the day one outlook here. They got rid of the whole entire slight risk from northern Georgia cutting through. We still do have a slight risk, though, for a little bit of the central side of Wisconsin and kind of the far northeastern, east-central side of Iowa. That's kind of what I'm mostly concerned about. It's just kind of the central southern side of Wisconsin for at least the next little bit here. But yeah, most of the regions here are now in the marginal risk here. They did completely remove that big margin that we had in the east, and that slight risk, accompanied with it. No longer there, but yeah, we do have this slight risk here still. 2% chance for tornadoes. Yeah, very low probability for that, which is good. 15% wind threats, and no hail threat out there. Or no damaging hail threat, I should say. So, yeah. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We got 37 minutes, y'all, on these two watches. The one out there by Iowa and northern Missouri, as well as one up here by the Mid-Atlantic. Let's see here. Money's on Karen. Yeah, I bet you. That's going to be a bad storm. Hurricane Karen this year, for sure. Severe thunderstorm on Fairfax. Yeah, let's shoot this guy here. This one is for same concern, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny hail. Includes Manassas, Centerville, Fairfax, some of Fairfax County, and Prince William County here. Yeah, it had some pretty decent velocities on it when we were looking at it a little bit ago. Those have dropped down just a tad, it looks like here. Yeah, it's kind of spread out a bit. Storm's not as potent here. It has, 6 minutes to go left. It does look like we are starting to pick up a pretty good amount of cell growth, though. Out here by, the central side of Maryland here. Out by, south of Baltimore. You can see these guys are starting to pick off quite a bit. The activity here by Texas is gone. Mostly gone up here by Montana. Yeah, things are definitely calming down, which is good. We have 6 minutes on this morning up here. Northeastern Montana by Culbertson and Bainville. Got a couple warnings down here. Southwestern Wisconsin towards Darlington, Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Belmont, Shullsburg. Another warning for Dickeyville, Jamestown, out there by Ellenboro, Lancaster, and B-Town. These are for hail between penny to nickel size, so 0.75 to 0.88 inches in diameter, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. They do have tornado possible tags on them. That does not mean that there will be a tornado, because if there was an immediate threat for a tornado, they would put a tornado warning, which there's not. A tornado possible tag just means remain alert for possible tornadic activity, because some severe thunderstorms can quickly develop them, and given the environment here, it is possible, still for maybe an isolated tornado or two. So just for a little bit of extra heads up here. So, just know where to go in case if there was a tornado warning, but as of now, that's not needed. Just if you're in the warnings here, what I'd recommend is just staying indoors, away from windows, and that's about it. Should be pretty good. So you got another warning still up here in northwestern Indiana towards South Haven and Chesterton area. This one is here for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 0.75 inch hail. Got Kingwood, so we got a severe thunderstorm warning up here in northern West Virginia for Kingwood, Albright, Tunnelton, Borgman, Terra Alta. Let's see here. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts potential. Yeah, this one actually doesn't have any hail on it. And other than that, we are chilling for the most part. What's up, Gavin? Saying hi, or hey, Andrew. How is Ohio going to be for the next 3 days? So today, rest of tonight, we're pretty good. Tomorrow, okay, so tomorrow for the northwestern side of Ohio, there is going to be a small chance for a couple isolated to severe thunderstorms, or isolated severe thunderstorms possible, I should say. So strong to potentially severe storms up in northwestern Ohio. A lot of the rest of the state here is just in that general thunderstorm threat, so possibly a couple strong storms, at most could be possible. But as of right now, nothing severe. So then we work into day through here. Yeah, there's nothing more than just another general thunderstorm risk here. So tomorrow, northwestern Ohio, Wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out there for the risk here as, a little bit of strong to perhaps maybe an isolated severe storm. Could be possible. No tornadoes, though, thankfully. 5% wind threat and a no hail threat. So, yeah, for you, just look out for a little bit of gusty winds. Could be possible. Yeah, tomorrow's main threat is going to be up here in the plains, up here in North South Dakota, bits of Nebraska, a little bit of like Minnesota and whatnot is going to be where the main threat is going to be out there for severe weather, including tornadoes. Pretty much a relatively small tornado risk here, a 2% risk up between North and South Dakota. Nothing super crazy. In terms of damaging winds, we do have a 15% risk here. But yeah, hail. Hail is actually going to be kind of our main leading concern with that significant hail threat that we do have here. Potential in hail 2 inches in diameter and larger. So, that's something that we're going to definitely need to look out for. Absolutely. Other than that, nothing super crazy. Let's look at the flooding threat here. Yeah, so we do have a pretty long slight risk here for flooding today, or for what's left of today, between eastern Kansas cutting through Missouri, Iowa, into Wisconsin, and Michigan, including the upper state here. The slight risk, at least a 15% chance probability for flooding across the yellow here, at least a 5% chance for flooding here across the green here, which is a marginal risk here. Tomorrow, pretty big marginal risk here across a lot of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, Southeast, a bit of the Northeast too. Day 3 here, just a couple of, marginal risk here. So it doesn't seem to be anything like super duper crazy flooding wise, but today does seem to be the biggest concern for that. What's up, Jennifer? Saying, hello, Andrew. We're in Lake County. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Lake County, Illinois. Gotcha. Well, hope you're doing good, my friend. Yeah, right now, Illinois, things are fairly calm. We did just have a severe storm north of Chicago a little bit ago, but that storm has since rolled off into the Great Lakes here. So, yeah, not much going on right now. A little bit of showers here and there. Right now, the main concern I have is for like the central southern side of Wisconsin, kind of in this area here. Yeah, these watches, guys, are about to expire soon, so that won't be too much longer before they do. Let's see here. Still got that storm northwestern Indiana out there by Chesterton, Portage, South Haven, and Town of Pines area. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, penny-sized hail. Got 30 minutes on that one. So we got a bunch of scat. Oh, is that a new one? I think that's a new warning out here. And, yeah. Yeah, we are starting to see a bit of growth in these cells up across Maryland right now. This guy over here by Galesville, Marlboro Village, and Friendship here. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts on this guy. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of these warnings here. Let's see. Actually, all of these warnings here. We have a total of 7 severe thunderstorm warnings here, and none of them are quarter-sized or greater. So for all of these warnings, hail is not a concern. However, all of these are for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts that you do see here. So we have the one up in northeastern Kansas here by Oneida, Berwick, Morrill. 14 minutes on that one, penny hail. This one does have that tornado possible tag here. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and actually nickel-size hail, which is 0.88 inches. Still just under that threshold of severity, but this includes like Darlington, Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Shullsburg. 43 minutes, so we still have a little bit to go on that one here. Yeah, I mean, that's... they did cancel the one from Manassas. That's no longer there. Yeah, that storm did look like it was weakening quite a bit here. Definitely not what it used to be. It actually produced quite a nice little outflow boundary. You'll see that big noodle here? You can kind of see it there before the clutter started picking up from likely bugs. You know, whenever the night hits, they like to fly high. So, but yeah, you can see though that that little noodle here. It's our outflow boundary. It's actually the cool air, or the cool downdraft air from within the storm. Tends to here. Let's move you. Tends to basically move and push out in all directions here. Now the thing is that, you know, the further away that the outflow boundary goes away from the storm, in some cases the harder it is for the storm to ingest more warmer air to continue the convection. Meaning, if it, you know, creates this big cool pool of air under it, it'll actually kind of choke itself out. Let's see here. Jennifer says, sorry, Lake County, Illinois. No, you're good. Sorry, it's raining hard to type. Okay, great. We are on vacation. Sirens went off, so wanted to check. Nice to see you. Yeah, you as well. You as well, my friend. Yeah, Illinois right now, there's really nothing going on out there up here in Illinois at the current moment. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we did have a little bit of severe storm activity out here. Out by Chicago, you know, we did have that severe storm to the north, but yeah, not really much going on right now in Illinois here. Pretty calm for the most part. Let's see. We are down to 7 severe thunderstorm warnings here. Like we mentioned, all of these guys are for under quarter hail. So under that severe hail threshold. Oh, we actually got a new one up here in Texas. This is out in Midland. Look at that. Wow, that one's got quite an outflow boundary. Look at this. This one even has a little bit of a noodle on it. Y'all see that? It's pretty cool. Yeah, so like I was mentioning here, this is basically, and this can be pushed in different directions due to the angle of the storm itself. You know, can be influenced by wind shear. But essentially, like I mentioned, this is kind of like a miniature cold front that these storms produce. You know, because it's kind of, you know, the warm air gets sucked up into the storm, and as it cools down, the air starts to sink. Hot air rises, cold air starts to sink, in which that hits the ground and kind of spreads out in all directions. So we're kind of seeing, you know, a little bit of outflow boundary activity with that little guy here. But we got that big outflow boundary here from those storms up north. You see a lot of these in Florida, actually, you know, with our storm activity. You'll even see something like this for sea breezes, you know, like on both the east and west coast of Florida. You'll, you know, as the sun comes out, lowers the air pressure over the central peninsula. It'll actually drag in air from both sides of the waters, and it'll create it'll create a line that looks like this outflow boundary, which is pretty cool. And those can really fire off storms in Florida. You know, given our moisture and our ambient heat that we have in Florida too, it really can get storms kicking off, because usually we have a good source of lift in Florida. I mean, even just by, you know, the straight up heating that occurs. But anyways, enough of that. But yeah, so we still have about 20 minutes, 25-ish minutes left on these these watches here. One for Iowa, Missouri, the one out there by Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, a little bit of New Jersey here. These guys are pretty much done. And you know what? The threat is pretty much over for the most part here. Like I said, they did give us a new outlook here. They completely removed that slight risk that we had towards the Mid-Atlantic. The only area we still have a little bit of a concern is here in this slight risk area here, up by you know, the south central side of Wisconsin and northeastern Iowa here. But I mean, other than that, not super crazy. Yeah, we still do have that marginal, that level 1 threat though. You know, can't rule out an isolated severe storm or two, but the main threat is over with here. But we'll see you guys tomorrow for sure on some on some coverage on this next system that comes through. It looks like the storms might fire off quite late, actually. Yeah, like according to according to HRRR, doesn't look like the big stuff happens until like roughly 0 UTC, which that's 8 p.m. Eastern or 7 Central. So it's fairly late initiation for what it looks like tomorrow. But hey, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll definitely be here to cover that. But honestly, guys, I think that a lot of the coverage can conclude for the night here. I think a lot of the main risk is over. I just wanted to hop on here for a little bit, a little over an hour or so, just to kind of do a little bit of coverage, kind of talk about what's going on tonight and stuff like that. But yeah, if y'all have any questions before I do roll off here, hey, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be more than happy to help you. Let's see here. Robbie says, I rarely chat. Just wanted to say, great job, man. Love the channel. Informative as always. Well, thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Sarah says, what does northern Michigan look like for tonight, please? Yeah, no problem. So northern Michigan, we do have just a generalized thunderstorm risk here. We're not expecting any severe weather for you guys up north. Now, we cannot rule out an isolated storm or two. But yeah, generally speaking, we are not expecting any severe weather or anything like that up there for you guys for tonight. And honestly, it doesn't look like until like tomorrow morning is where we could start to see maybe a little bit of storm activity, maybe a little bit of rain and storm activity could happen fairly early. This is 11 UTC, which that's I believe that's 7 a.m. Eastern. Which for you, I believe you're in Central, so that would be 6 a.m. your time. But a little bit of storms are possible. But yeah, nothing severe. Nothing severe. Yeah, so that'll continue into tomorrow as well with tomorrow's risk that we do have here. And going into day 3, that would be on, let's see, day 3 Saturday. So Saturday we have no risk for even storms. So we are looking pretty good. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, if you're curious to know if your area is in the risk for severe weather or not over the next couple days, hey, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy to help. If y'all want to do any zip codes or anything like that, just throw down a zip code in the chat. I'll pull it up here, and I'll let you know what the risk is from the Storm Prediction Center that you have. And I'll kind of break it down a little bit and tell you what you can be in store for. If that's something you guys would want, and just to help keep you guys weather aware. That's the whole point of this channel, is to make sure you guys are staying safe and weather aware. That is all we care about here. So I would be more than glad to help. More than glad to help. What's up, Kim? Saying, hey, Andrew, glad to see you're back. Yeah, I had a little bit of a vacation time I took off. I need a little bit of time to myself. But we are back, my friend. We are back, and we are good to go. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for coverage. Like I mentioned, tonight's... I don't think we need any more I don't think we really need much more coverage tonight, because a lot of the stuff has been marginalized, or fairly marginal, I should say, with the marginal risk that we have here. So that's good. That's good. Let's see here. Scottish wants me to take a look at this place for day 3. Of course. Of course. Let's hop over to day 3. Let's see here. Okay. So first of all, you, my friend, are not in the risk here for any type of severe weather for Saturday. However, I will tell you this. You do have a generalized thunderstorm risk, which says, yes, a couple of storms are possible. However, nothing severe is expected. So a little bit of storms, yes, could be possible. But yeah, nothing big, really. So you should be good. What's up, Brandy? Hope you're doing good. You'd have a better chance of actually seeing severe weather tomorrow with day 2. So, but even then, it's very low risk, and it's just outside of your area. Welcome back, Christy. Yeah, tomorrow's risk, like I said, tornado-wise, is not really big. The whole marginal risk that we have, that really funky marginal risk here from Florida through the southeast here up towards like portions of the western mid-Atlantic, a little bit of the Ohio Valley area. There's no tornado threat in that. The one thing that we do have here is, let's see here, that tornado threat here is for the central, south central North Dakota, central, north central South Dakota. It's a lot of north-south, I know. But yeah, we do have that 2% risk out there for that. Seeing conflicting things about whether apps South Bend clear for the evening, or is there more stuff coming in? So as of now, we do have a little bit of activity towards South Bend here. If we look at the radar here, you can kind of see that some of the stuff is mostly moving to the northeast here. Could dodge you. Models like the HRRR here does show stuff clearing up a little bit here within the next couple of hours. Now, I wouldn't rule out the potential here for maybe a storm or two over the next hour or so. I wouldn't count on it either, but I wouldn't rule it out, considering we do have some activity nearby, and there could be some pop-up showers and storms that could occur. You know, it's a little hard to be specifics on exactly where every storm will fire off, you know. Like I mentioned before, you know, it's very hard for us to be specific on a cell hitting a specific location, you know, especially with new storms developing and whatnot. It's a little hard to do that. But we can tell you that the general environment for this region can, you know, is favorable for these storms, in which it will be for the next couple of hours, yes. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility of a couple storms nearby. But, you know, it's nature. It's a little unpredictable. It's hard to be for sure if you will see rain or not. But like I mentioned, the environment that you're in is capable of storms. But yeah, nothing really too crazy here, really. I mean, we're just on the edge of that level 1 threat here that they just updated, so not really anything big. Even if you did get storms, it wouldn't do anything crazy. Anyways, let's see here. Dustin says, okay, zip code. Let's see. I'm in a slight risk here for tonight. Hoping to get a nice lightning show late tonight, hopefully, but I'm doubtful. Been waiting on storms all day. Haha. Trust me, I get that, my friend. I do the same thing. Let's see. I take it you're not in Italy. So you're up in Wisconsin. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, for some reason I brought up Italy. It does look like you do have some storms nearby. Here, let me bring that up again real quickly. Let's see here. Okay, so it does look like you do have a little bit of a cell to your west here. Probably dodge you, to be honest with you. Yeah, there is kind of the bigger line that we've been watching here, further to your west, in which that will likely hit you. It will. Looking over here back at the HRRR here, you can see that over the next little bit, so you said you're up here kind of in this region of Wisconsin, you can see that as we progress over the next couple of hours, you know, fairly right around midnight or so, we could have that line of storms continue to roll through, in which you'll likely get some storms tonight here. And then, of course, that kind of fades out by tomorrow morning. So, or by sunrise, I should say. So, a little bit of overnight stuff will certainly be possible. Let's see here. Chrissy says, can I ask a random question? Of course. Is Huntsville, Alabama considered a high tornado-prone area? Alabama as a whole is considered a decent state for tornadic activity because of the fact that we have the Gulf supplying tons of moisture, and we have those systems that spin off in the plains and the Midwest that, you know, amplify the wind shear, carrying more moisture and creating higher instability and whatnot. I would consider it, yes. I think that region is a tornado-prone area, you know, for decent activity. You know, the South is really active. I mean, not this time of the year usually, but, you know, during storm season, you know, beginning March, April, May, MAM months. You know, those usually Alabama's pretty active. Just it could also depend on weather patterns and stuff too, of course. But yeah, Alabama, I consider it a high tornado-prone area. I know you said Huntsville, but I'm considering Alabama as a whole. Let's see here. That rain to the east isn't actually rain, it's a wind farm. Yeah, you know, that actually happens quite a bit here. Was it this guy right here? You know, we can actually check that by looking at correlation coefficient. It'll be blue. Yep, there it is. Oh, wait, y'all can't even see that. There you go. Yeah, so that's you're right. That is it looks like a wind farm. You can see that there's still continuous echoes because, yeah, I mean, given the fact that the radar isn't super far, literally just to your south, some of the echoes from the radar actually reflect off of the those wind farms there, which is pretty cool. Matt says, "Wow, wow, what?" Yeah, no problem, Christy. Yeah, like I said, y'all have any questions? Y'all, so I'm more than happy to answer them. We only have about 12 minutes left on this watch, so I guess we'll stay here until that expires. We're probably gonna roll off here in about we'll roll off here at about 10 o'clock p.m. So it'll give us a little bit of time for questions or anything like that if y'all have any. That'll set us at an hour and a half stream. A little bit of coverage tonight, which is pretty decent. I didn't expect a whole long, several hours of coverage because we didn't really need it. I just wanted to hop on here a little bit tonight. Tomorrow, we will be live quite a bit, I believe, for the slight risk that we do have up north. So tomorrow, the focus is on the Northern Plains. Northern Plains looks a little active. Actually, not just for tomorrow, but also day 3 on Saturday, too. You can see this is Saturday's risk here. You can see that slight risk. So we'll probably be covering that, too, more than likely. Then we got, once again, another day of really weird marginal risk here. Believe it or not, I'm actually just outside. Wow, did they really pull that? It's just outside of my area. Man. Anyways. Christy says, if you haven't done so yet, don't forget to like and subscribe. Helps the algorithm and keeps everyone informed. Yeah, if you guys could, it would be much appreciated. Obviously, you don't have to, but if you want to, if you could, I would encourage it because it does help out, spread the awareness, helps keep people weather aware and everything. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. Leave a like if you haven't already as well. It would go a lot in helping out. And maybe even sharing this channel too, if you really wanted to help support us. Just like I said, so we can reach more people, help out more people, help you guys stay weather aware. It's the whole goal here is just to make sure we help out as many people as possible in being weather aware and safe. That's literally what we're here for. But yeah, it definitely does help. Let's see here. But yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, for the people just joining us, tropics-wise, we do have to keep an eye out there for this guy up in the Eastern Pacific. Models today are a little bit stronger on the system here. Let's see here. Is this 95E, right? Oh, yeah, I think... hold on, let me double-check here. Bear with me for 1 second here. Actually, I'm gonna bring you guys over with me. Curious. Hold on, is that 95E? Yes, there it is. Oh yeah, look at, wow. Talk about disagreement. Holy cow. Look at the spaghetti models here. Sheesh. They couldn't be more spread out. They wanted to be. Look at them. The median point kind of follows the AEMI model here. This orange one. They're so spread out, dude. There's so much uncertainty. See, intensity. I will say, though, intensity guidance has gone up quite a bit, though. You can see between the 3-day mark to 144 hours, between 72 to 144 hours, you can see that majority of the models do support tropical storm activity here. And, 1 or 2 of them go up into hurricane status, which, I'm not going to call yet. It's a little early for that, but tropical storm activity seems more likely, with this storm here. Here, let me bring you guys back down here, and then I'll bring this over here to you guys, make it look a little bit better. There's satellite imagery. It obviously is not very organized right now. It's really not. You can see an attempt at some lower level circulation here. Right in this region, you can see this with this lower level clouds. They are working their way, counterclockwise. But convection's pretty minimal and very disorganized. So that leads me to believe, I mean, it has a lot of work it needs to do before anything develops out of it. Doesn't look like we really have any missions. We have one mission out right now. This is, I think it's just a test. It's out of Louisiana. It's like out by like New Orleans area. But yeah, no aircraft, anything like that on it right now. But yeah, still a lot of work this thing needs to do before it does anything. But I mean, long term, the long term does. Ooh, hello. Got a warning in Florida. Long term does suggest tropical storm activity with that. Okeechobee has, let's see here, 60-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-size hail, 0.88 inches in diameter. Wait, are these starting to fire off here? Whoa, hello. This is over by me. I have a camera set up, y'all. That was my window. Here, let's switch over to NWW cam here. Well, that's a lot of nothing. That is a lot of nothing. Believe it or not, there is a camera there. Wait, is it even on? Hold on. Is it not showing anything? Hello? Oh, it is. There you go. Hey! Okay, yeah, it is on. Never mind. It's just so dark I can't see anything. Cool. Okay, well, it's just that dark out right now. That's literally outside, pointing outside. Don't forget, we're also here to listen to Andrew pronounce names of cities. Hey, yeah, that's an ultimate disaster, hearing me pronounce these cities, dude. It is my number one weekend. Oh, we love it when it says day 3 error. Look in the top right, my day 3 outlook. Hold on, let me refresh that real quickly. There we go. Slight risk. Yeah. And by the way, like I mentioned, guys, we do have what? Why is there a hurricane warning for South Mexico? That's not right. Expires in 3 weeks. What? Miami, Florida. Checking the date's very important. June 19th. Okay. Hurricane Eric. Dude, this is outdated. Why is this showing up? Oh. Okay, that was really weird. Yeah, that's... All right, anyways. Am I doing zip codes right now? Yeah, I can. I'm just kind of waiting for these watches to expire. We have 5 minutes left on them. Once these watches are gone, then I'll be gone. You're not supposed to see that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. It was a little weird. Got a bone to pick with them. No, there is no hurricane warnings out there, y'all. That was from the storm like a week or two ago. Oh, jeez. That'd be a week ago, I guess. A week ago today. But yeah, no, if you guys want me to do zip codes, I'll be more than happy to. What's up, Carissa? Welcome, saying, hey, Andrew and everyone. What is up? What is up? Ooh, we got some more activity in southern Wisconsin. Still same, 60-mile-an-hour winds and 0.88-inch hail. So it's nickel-size hail. Not anything crazy. Let's look at velocity here. Not seeing any rotation or anything like that in these storms, which is good. Okay, well, that's good. Lots of lightning in southwest Pennsylvania. Yeah, we did have a couple storms out by that way. I don't... I guess it depends. I mean, there's a little bit of light precipitation out there just southwest of Pittsburgh. Yeah, we've been watching a couple of strong to severe storms out here. Michael, let me do fire weather. Okay. So you're up in Colorado. Let me pull up SPC site real quickly. You're good. Yeah, there's nothing in the fire weather outlook really super crazy. So today's fire outlook, we have no areas, and then tomorrow we have an elevated risk up in my brain's not braining, Wyoming. Just an elevated risk here. But yeah, anything beyond that, we are pretty good. We just got the back-to-back slight risk here we have going on here. But anyways, folks, well, I guess this watch is about to expire soon, so now would be a good time to, if you guys have any final questions before I roll off, feel free to let us know. Once again, if you have not already, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like. It would be greatly appreciated. If you guys could share this channel as well, post on social media, your Twitter page, your Facebook page, whatever, just to help spread the awareness. Could really help out somebody someday with our coverage here. So if you guys could do that, it would be amazing, and it would be greatly appreciated. That way, we can help spread the awareness here, because, just on YouTube algorithm is very interesting sometimes. It'll really help us out a ton if you guys could help distribute this. Much appreciated. And I'm sure the people would really appreciate it as well. Just the more the merrier that we can help out, But, yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, though, guys, a lot of the activity here is pretty much done for tonight. Now, we are still possibly going to have a couple of scattered severe storms here and there tonight, but the main threat is over with here. The main threat is pretty much out of here, so that's good. Once again, tomorrow we do need to be weather aware up in the plains, northern plains here. We will be live for that. It'll be a fairly late coverage tomorrow. Because, like we were talking about, the initiation of these storms is actually going to be late afternoon, kind of working its way into the evening here, mostly evening time. So, we'll make sure to be live there for that overall. But yeah, no, those watches here, they have expires just now. Well, there you go. So those watches are now expiring here. Both the ones up here by Iowa, Missouri, portions of Nebraska, as well as the one out there by Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and Delaware. You guys are good. But yeah, that's pretty much all. Once again, going once, going twice. If y'all have any last comments, questions, or anything like that, feel free to let me know. But if not, we're going to roll off for the night. Once again, we'll be live. I'm not sure what time tomorrow for the coverage, but we'll shoot for some time, I'd say maybe right around 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern time-ish for tomorrow's risk. So it'll be fairly late. We'll do some fairly late coverage out there here for tomorrow. But like I mentioned, a little bit of an overview on the tropics. Once again, the one out here in South Gulf, I wouldn't really worry about it. There's a very low chance of this thing even doing anything. So I still want you guys to be weather aware, though, on this one in the Eastern Pacific. Models have increased in activity. Possible tropical storm here in the near future within the next week or so. So we'll have to look out for that. Haven't ruled out a hurricane yet. As of now, it seems unlikely, but we'll see. Things can change. Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you once again, Christy, for the support. Thank you, Proxy, if you're still here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I greatly appreciate it. It's good to have you guys here. But alrighty, everybody. Well, stream's going to head off here in approximately 1 minute. So go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, your family, anybody you're hanging out with here in the chat. And until next time, my friends, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. You guys stay safe out there, and we will see you guys tomorrow for some more coverage. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining. You all have a wonderful rest of your nights, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.